Hello, I'm Dr. Stephen Andrew Missick. I'm running for Texas State Representative, HD18, which is Liberty, San Jacinto, Hardin, and East Montgomery County. In this video, I want to state my position on school choice and education. And I want to say that I am for school choice. What is school choice? Well, school choice is a program in which the money follows the student. That means you elect the education of your child, whatever you want to do. If you want to send your child to public school, like most parents will choose to do, then that's where the money that goes to the education of your child will go. However, if you choose to do Christian schooling or private religious school or private school, then the money designated to your child that's going to educate your child, the public funds that are designated to the education of your child, will follow your student to whatever option you choose. This is empowering of the parents, and this is creating new, exciting possibilities to improve the quality of our education. We need competition. So this is great to allow every student the choice of a Christian, private, or public school education. I want to make a comment really quickly about homeschooling. I am for homeschooling, and I believe we need to protect homeschoolers, and I think we should encourage homeschooling. And the issue with that is, all these teachers' unions, we need to understand that the teachers' unions have become corrupt, they're politicized, and they're really hostile to what's in the best interest of our children now. And I think that people see that when we see CRT being forced on kids, political indoctrination, our public school system. It's going on here in Texas too. I wish it wasn't, but it is. This is a nationwide problem, and part of the reason why I support school choice, I think it's just a good idea anyway. And there's many reasons why I support it. Sometimes you have students that the school that they're going to, I've worked in education, I've seen it, and the student body, whatever the problem is, it's not the best school. So if you have students that have aptitude toward academics and they're in a bad school, it's going to hurt that student. And if there are students that have certain talents, those should be nurtured. We should want all of our kids to excel. So that's what I want. I want education excellence, and I want new opportunities for our young people so that we can succeed as a culture, as a society, as a nation. But the other thing I think that we need to do, the reason why we need to have school choice is to break the power of the schools, the teachers' union. That has to be done. Like I said, they're the most reliable. I mean, these people are zealous, left-wing fanatics that are imperiling our children and our future as a country. They're teaching through CRT, which is a Marxist ideology. They're teaching people to hate themselves, their own nation, our Constitution. And it's insidious, and it has to be stopped. And the incumbent here, Ernest Bales, is a little minion of the teachers' unions. So the incumbent, Ernest Bales, is very adamant in his opposition to school choice. And he went so far as to go to the left-wing liberal rag called the Houston Chronicle and do a whole long article, almost novel length, on his allegiance to the left-wing teachers union. That he did this huge article, a front page of the Houston Chronicle, the left-wing Houston Chronicle, showing his opposition to parental choice in education and to our Governor Abbott. And we need to have a conservative teachers union of some sort, because the teachers union is the most reliable lobbyists and special interest groups for the Democrat Party. These people are nut jobs. They're left-wing fanatics, and they have to be opposed. And one of the ways we can do that is school choice. Nothing's more important than our young people, our children, which represents our future, the future of, as a pastor of the church, as a patriotic American of our nation. We need to instill within them love of America, love of freedom and liberty, and have opportunities created for them. The problem we have with education is not money. It's more fundamental than that. And I mean, you give all these money, just throw money at the problem, and the quality of education and our standards and the testing continues to go down and down and down and down and down. So we need to say no more. Let's try a different approach. Let's try the approach of school choice, of private schooling, of Christian schooling. And like I said, most people are going to choose to send their kids to public schools. That's the reality. But we need to have options and choices for our parents to make for our young people and our children. And one of the things that they were doing for the longest time, these teachers' unions, was like, no homeschooling, no homeschooling, no homeschooling. But then we had COVID, and it's like, okay, let's homeschool everybody. That's how they got exposed, because parents were able to see. You come home, Johnny comes home from school. Hey, Johnny, how was school today? All right. What'd you learn? So that's the way it is. That's the way kids are. But when we had COVID, and parents are home, the kids are home, and parents are seeing what's going on. They're seeing the left-wing political indoctrination and perversion going on in our public schools. Of course, people are outraged. What happened? You started having parents speak out in school board meetings. And then what happens? Then this administration gets concerned about it, and the school boards and teachers unions can contact basically the FBI to target parents for voicing their concerns about the best interest of their children. It's disgusting, and that shows how bad the teachers unions are. Let's go back to homeschooling. I mean, they're saying they're against homeschooling. COVID came, they had everybody doing homeschooling, right? But there are so many networks and resources for homeschooling. And I mean, there's even, homeschool athletic teams. There's a lot of great online resources, great curriculums. What we need to do is protect homeschooling. We don't want the government coming in and mandating CRT and that type, politicizing the curriculum in homeschooling. So we need to protect the right of parents to inculcate within their children through education, Christian or biblical worldview. It's their right. It's what America. That's why people came to this country, America, and founded it in the first place. So I support school choice, and I support homeschooling, and I support protecting our homeschooling families. I think that's very important. And Ernest Bales, like right now, I mean, it's just what he's doing. The governor is trying to, have school choice, and they're trying to water it down, and they're preventing. They want to have the least amount of students to have this option, these opportunities available, instead of making them available to every student as they should. So we can't have any form of school choice because the Democrat Party controls the Texas House. Even though we have a supposed Republican majority, the reality is the Democrats control the Texas state legislature. That's why you need to vote for me, get me in there to shake things up a bit. Ernest Bales, as I mentioned before, is a minion of the left-wing teachers unions, and he's going to do everything in his power to prevent parents from improving quality education, having choices and options to improve their child's education, their students' education through school choice. And part of the reason why we don't have school choice in Texas is because of Ernest Bales and a few other Republicans or so-called Republicans, he'd be able to gather on his side to oppose this incredibly important reform that Texas needs so that we should be a leader in the United States of America, should we not? A leader in education. And Ernest Bales is preventing much needed reforms and preventing parents from having options to set up their children for success. He wants to take those opportunities away from you. He wants to condemn your kids to failing school so they cannot achieve their full potential, because all Ernest Bales cares about apparently is money, and the donations he gets from these left-wing organizations. So if he cared about the best interests of your children, then he'd support school choice. I support school choice. And when I win, I'm going to make sure that we're able to pass school choice. Not a watered-down version. We're going to have school choice for every Texas family. And I'm going to work to support homeschooling and homeschoolers and expand protections on homeschooling families. Because, part of the reason we see this just a decline of morality and culture is because of, this left-wing ideology that's inculcated in our children in the public school system. And not just that, but also in the colleges and university system. And we see how bad it is. You tell people for the longest time how bad it is, and people just couldn't believe it. They can't see it. But now we see, Harvard University, supporting Hamas. It's like, how did we come to this. It's because you've been allowing these people to cheapen the value of education by bringing in politics and corrupting these great institutions. I support education. I have a doctorate, and I think that we should, want to cultivate our minds and cultivate through education our society and culture and our kids. But we need to have greater options and choice, and we need to empower parents and not just these left-wing lobbyists, special interest groups, and bureaucrats, so that we can create new opportunities for our young people, our children to succeed, and for us to pass down our legacy of patriotism, love of country, of Texas and what it represents, the United States and our Constitution, the American way of life. It's something good that we need to pass down to our children, all children of every race and nationality. It's important. So, the big day, if you want educational reform, if you want school choice, you want to stand up to these left-wing teachers' unions, put a fighter in there, vote for Dr. Missick. March 5th, 2024. Early voting is February 20th. If you're not registered to vote, register to vote as soon as possible. I'll get the dates on that as well. But it's time to get involved. Our House district's in a lot of trouble. That's because we've had bad leadership. We had poor leadership. In fact, we haven't had leadership at all. We've had a great disservice. We've had the people, the citizens of this House district and these counties being sold down the river for a quick buck by Ernest Bells and some of his friends and associates, such as John and Trey Harris. But now it's time to get somebody to stand up for the people and say no more. We're going to stand up for the people, and we're going to stand up for their best interests, and that includes supporting school choice and protecting and encouraging our homeschooling families. So thank you. God bless you. Remember, Pastor King of Saints Tabernacle, we have a prayer for the nation Wednesday night, 7 o'clock, every Wednesday at 7 o'clock at King of Saints Tabernacle. Please come and join us if you'd like to meet me and ask me questions in person. And of course, we have an upcoming Meet the Candidate event on December the 10th at 3 o'clock, Sunday at King of Saints. So hope to see you there. Thank you. God bless you.